Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Old School brought to you by the folks at Sandhills Global. You can, whatever it is you want to do.
Internships,
right?
Career opportunities located here in the beautiful, mild, high 80 temperature of Lincoln, Nebraska is their global headquarters. You can go and apply at sandhills.jobs. We appreciate it.
Get them.
Appreciate it.
Get them. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. If you want to add to the show, you want to comment, you want to contribute, you have questions, we got it. Have at it. Please do. And the Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter Live. We're up on Twitter Live, so you can see what's going on in the studio. You will see Big Slim in for Rico. Mark Onweiler.
Eventually, if I put myself on there.
Big Slim. Yeah, get yourself in there.
There we are.
Get yourself in there. You're going to have to tell me the secret on the facial hair, because your facial hair grows at a pace that is not normal to most human beings.
Yeah, I'm really trying to decide what to do with it, because I don't want to shave every day.
Right.
But it grows too fast to not shave every day.
Right.
So, but I kind of got tired of having the beard.
You got to trim it up every day, man.
Yeah. That takes work.
Yeah.
Do you not want to spend the time or the money to constantly trim your beard?
It's not even that. It's the time to clean up after I trim it. All the tiny little hairs in the sink.
You don't have a space for that?
No, we only have the one bathroom. I know.
That's tough.
We made a mistake when we bought our house. I didn't prioritize that high enough.
Yeah, beard hair is a thing. So
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no time set aside, no 5 minutes where you can really.
There's time for that, but what I've found is I never clean up the sink well enough to where my wife won't go in and say, "What? You didn't clean the sink?"
Fair, because that's a thing that exists everywhere. No matter how well I clean the bathroom, I have not cleaned the bathroom well enough.
Right. Yeah. And then they be like, wonder why you don't want to clean the bathroom.
Well, because then it's like, well, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy anyway. So I should just let it go. Like, what's the phrase from the house party? A beat down's a beat down.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't fight it. Just take it and just move on.
Right. It's like, okay, you're not gonna be happy with it. So just go ahead and do it, and then do that. There's some content on social media where there's a woman who tells the story of why men are the way they are and how to help women understand that when he goes quiet, it's just that he knows that no matter what he says, he's still going to hear more about it. So he's just quiet. Begin with, I'm like, this woman is a genius. She's giving up the playbook.
She knows it.
But the problem is, and it's not just women or just people. It's not even like a significant other or partner or whatever. Just people in general. They could have the playbook, but they refuse to read the playbook.
That is true, Jay.
Just like some football players.
I was gonna say, are we gonna turn this into a transition?
It is the truth. We spend a lot of day, rightfully so, on Vince Scully. It's time. Hey, listen here, man. I always say this: time waits for no man, for nobody. You know what I'm saying? It is now August 4th. I don't know if the game's on the 26th or 27th, but at the end of the day, you are about 2 weeks away from the biggest game, and probably it is crazy because being a part of Coach Osmond's first national championship game, that was hailed as the biggest game in his coaching career. And at that time, it was like if Nebraska didn't finally win a national championship, it would have never happened again. He ended up winning 3 out of 4 years, but this is the biggest game in school history. It is, because it's a huge year. It's an even bigger opportunity The pressure's there. And there's an overwhelming theme of, I think like around here, prior to this staff, probably even a little bit when, late in Bo's like tenure, definitely when Callahan was here, I think like it just became a thing to not embrace the pressure or the expectations. And it's not, and really now is, if you do that for so long, it becomes like subconsciously in your DNA. You know what I mean? Like, so if you just keep putting it out there, like, oh, yeah, everybody else is good, so let's just be okay. So only way to get out of it is you have to actually speak, embracing the pressure, and the expectations into existence. And the reason why I try to like look at other professional sports, look at other coaches, how they're successful, and see how they make what makes them tick in general, and how they lead other players. One, because I coach, but then two, just to maybe understand different teams' philosophy and coaches.
Just some psychology behind that.
Right. And just how different people go about handling their business. So I was watching, I love European soccer. I think it's ultimately I'd love to go to a big match, but obviously they have some serious issues over there for people that have pigmentation in their skin. The players, I'm sure if I'm over there, they roll deep over there. I don't want to get hemmed up over there, but I want to attend the event. So I was watching it about, there's Tottenham, Man City, and there's a new one out, and it's a team that was really, really good. And they had, Thierry Henry? Yeah. It was where he kind of made his name for himself. He has a statue out there, and they've been on a, down slope. They have a lot of young players, right? A young coach that was a very, very successful player in his own right, came under or grew up in, he's a young coach, but grew up in his coaching career under Pep, he might be one of the best coaches of all time in European soccer history. Now he's there and he's dealing with the fan base. As soon as they lose, they haven't scored, it's over, turn the lights off. Well, he broke it down and he said, he explained to the players why he does this. So he got down on their level. And it was like a kind of make or break game for them. It would been the first time in 100 years that a team had started 0-4 and hadn't scored a goal. So he broke down that he was born with a heart issue. He was never supposed to play sports, but he exceeded expectations when everybody doubted him. Obviously, correlated to the fans. But then one of the things that Henry said is, us as past players are tired of the expectations being down and no pressure. He's like, it has to be the exact opposite. He's like, we are who we are and we need to be who we should be. And it needs to be something that you need to deal with. Now, do you get there overnight? No, but you get there by embracing it. And last time I talked to one of the players on the team, and he's like, I want to prove everybody wrong. I was like, no, you need to prove yourself and everybody that believes in you right. Forget proving people wrong. You're going to be doing, you could do that in everything. Just, you're here. And so now you need to prove everybody right, including yourself, by embracing and setting the expectations to the standard that you need to live by every day, because that's what really gets you to that next level.
My big question for the Huskers has been, continues to be, what is the standard? Like, whether it's a team standard or program standard, because the program standard is higher than the team standard. The individual standard has to match the program standard.
Yeah, it's got to go from top. It's got to be from
right. Like each one has to fold naturally into the other.
It's kind of like a beautiful like waterfall. You see the ones that are like rapids, and when they go over like a bump and they splash everywhere. This has to be a beautiful one where it kind of just rolls over, because
we're asking teenagers and 20-year-olds to match decades of standard that they don't understand and that they weren't a part of, and they're being separated from. Like, that's the part this is the weird part of it, Jay.
Yeah.
You're asking
you're literally fighting You're literally fighting. It'd be like going into a box. I love boxing too. So it'd be like going into a boxing match and fighting like Muhammad Ali as like a hologram.
Yeah.
And he's just dancing around and just dotting my eye, just hum. You know what I mean? And then just everything that I'm doing, I'm actually spinning my wheels.
You're doing what you know.
And well, first of all, it's going to be pure chaos,
right?
Because it's like fighting somebody in the dark.
Yeah.
But one of the things I always tell people, like when I came to Nebraska, I didn't know. I learned. I embraced it, which I think they have a lot of guys on the team that are like that. But from the top, which was, say I don't know who the president and all that. Yeah, I had no idea that chancellors and all them. I just thought the AD kind of ran the whole deal. Right?
So did they. Yeah.
Well, we were segmented. We were in the football stadium. So just from Bill Byrne, obviously to Coach Osborne, to the assistant coaches, to the GAs, to the equipment staff, people that to training staff, all the way down to the janitors. There was just a standard. It was just that's just the way it was. It was like you do your best. You take pride in all the things you think about, and then once you get back to that, you do it. And I think it's kind of the chicken and the egg thing with Nebraska. They know it. You can say it. Would I probably do some stuff differently? As far as it, maybe because I talk to other people that I know that that played at other or played at other universities that work with them or just kind of have a different situation in order to get them to really kind of like warp speed it. I guess I could say it.
Yeah.
I think if the more that you're there, more that you see it, or more it's around you, it just, like I said, it becomes a part of you. Yeah. But if it's like here, there, everywhere, it's like it doesn't have the effect, right? Because here's an example in pros, right? So I go from Nebraska, where we obviously won a lot, to Buffalo. Jim Kelly wasn't the quarterback. Darryl Talley wasn't on the team anymore. Steve Tasker was retired. All the guys that were a part of it, when they kind of, even the lean times, but even, when they went on their run and to get back, were around all the time. And Jim Kelly, talk about what it's like, what it means to play in Buffalo, and explain to me to get me to feel and understand. You're not just playing for the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I'm here, Jim Kelly, X, Y, and Z. But these people here that you're playing for, it's as close to college as you're going to get versus he compared it to the Jets or something like that. So once you kind of like have those guys around and see them, they're there to kind of like push you, right? They're there to kind of advise you. They're there to kind of be that, on your shoulder. But the more that it really got me into loving Buffalo, probably a lot faster than I actually would. And so that's why when I talk about when I got traded, I was like, felt like I was part of Buffalo, and I was I was hoping to be like a Darryl Talley, where you play 8-10 years in Buffalo. You know what I mean? Kind of like how the Patriots are, where where you think of like, yeah, if I could get a contract that I could play 3-4 years instead of 2 because of the salary cap numbers, that do it because I love it here. You know what I'm saying? And so those are things that are important. Now, can you correlate that to like wins and losses, like 2 wins a year? No, but I can tell you it'll correlate to consistency.
Well, it keeps you connected to it. There is a commitment. The vested is
it keeps the
emotional vestige,
yeah,
rather than just the financial.
And what it does is it keeps the finger on you, like,
and you're not constantly starting over,
right? But it keeps the finger on you. It's no different than like the Redskins.
Yeah.
Like I grew up as a Redskin fan. I always talk about watching the Redskins in the Pittsburgh. They would scrimmage that was like me and my grandma's deal.
Yep, loved it.
So
loved it.
The Charles Manns and all those guys, when they were done playing, you'd see they like those guys knew. That's why Redskins fans are no different than Nebraska fans, because they know when an owner is not doing right, it's trickling down to the players. You know what I'm saying?
And the players start to dismount from it because it does. They're not allowed to be in their greatness,
right?
And it's a thing. So when it comes to Nebraska, they've got a tenured time. It's a very short piece of space for them to work in, and they've got to be comfortable, and they've got to know what is expected and what is not accepted.
Yeah, I think,
in
like
a
I
short
said,
space.
I think they have. I would say true. I said it last year, and I said it in a roundabout way, but obviously this year, I think they have true, and I think the best true intrinsic leaders list on the surface, and I primarily on defense because that's where I got to hang out a little bit. I think that this true intrinsic leadership is there. I think those guys have learned a lot. I think they had the blessing and the not so fun time of watching other people work in these spaces. What works, what didn't. They always have been open to advice and camaraderie with older players, with former players. But then also, I think it was good for them to wait their time and understand and go through another I don't know, go through another season. I mean, granted, 9-3 would have been great, but to go through another season and not meet expectations and understanding the difference between participating and doing. When you participate, it can look like you're doing it, but when you're doing it, you live it. You live it every single day.
It's the fake hustle,
yeah.
And then it shows up in the results. Like we hustle. Yeah, you fake hustle, and that's why the results are what.
Well, it's
what
the difference. The difference is, are you a hard worker or do you work hard? A hard worker is gonna do it every single day, no matter what. You know what I mean? A hard worker. That's what he's gonna do. It's in his DNA. A person that like works hard was like what a coach can do. You can set up drills. I can have you run gassers. I can run 50 million plays, and then while you're here, you work hard. But what do you do afterwards? And so I think that they'll be fine. I think this game is huge in the sense of the most important thing is just to get the win. It is now. Yeah, it's kind of again fighting an unknown objective because if Nebraska goes over there and say they win 30-27, right? By the time they land, people will complain how it looked, right? But then if Nebraska goes over there and wins, say 45-10, then they'll say, well, that's what they should do. But in reality, is the most important thing is the win. And I'd say to the first person that would be calling in on the Honda and Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685 or text in at the Sartor Heyman text line at 402-464-5685. That's a tongue twister for me, but I would say to them, would you rather have an ugly win per se or an ugly loss? Then they would probably then I would probably have to hit the dump button, right? Because I would always like an ugly win versus an ugly loss.
Because there were several beers and it's affected the conversation.
Well, just it, period. Right. Well, just I'm saying, you don't talk to me about a loss when we won.
Right.
Don't try to act like we lost when we won. And then secondly, when they say,
well, Mr. Foreman, that also means that you can't talk to me about winning after you've lost.
Correct. Because
which is such a part of the fabric.
Now we jumped to point 3. Now I'm going to finish number 2. Number 2 is when you say, well, that's what you should have done, and this is what you did last year against them, so this is the expectation. Okay, well then that's fine. But then I would say, well, how many years has it been that we haven't done what we were supposed to do? So pump your brakes there. So ultimately, going over there for however many days that they're going and coming back with a victory is all that matters. And then now you're don't talk about winning or the perception of doing good and winning when you lost. That's what I referred to last year. Like, granted, you don't want the mantle of being the best 3-9 team in NCAA history, right? Because there's different ways that you got to the one score loss, right? You could be down by 14.
There's a way.
You could be down by 10 and then score late. You score late with 10 seconds left. You were down by 10. Right. You know what I mean? So ultimately, you get to winning, get on a roll, and then a lot of things can happen. I mean, look, a team that's been a thorn in their side, Minnesota, part of the reason why PJ Fleck just got re-upped is because of that magical season a few years ago. They could have very well been 0-3. They could have been 1-2. They definitely got lucky to be 3-0. If the linebacker from South Dakota State, I don't know who he is, played cover 3 like you'd probably see people play out at Seacrest and make a tackle, they lose that game against South Dakota State at home. I think it was their first game.
I think that's right.
Then they go out to Fresno, and I think they might have won in overtime. Now, mind you, this is with a plethora of running backs, and 3 NFL receivers. They could have lost to Fresno. And Georgia State, I think, had them on the ropes at home, and they come back victory. But they go 3-0, the winning feeling. Then all of a sudden they take off. They have a couple upset victories, dip a little bit, and then they have the program in short-term changing victory against Penn State at home on national TV to win that one game. Then they go then now that everything's changed. Now everybody's antennas are up when you're listening. Now they're understanding what the expectations is, and then they really know what's the difference between winning and losing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's that card analogy. You are what the books say you are.
That's what Bill Parcells used to always say.
Right. Like
you are who your
record says you are.
Yeah.
Like you can try to put lipstick on the pig. It's still a pig.
Oh, he told us that. He came,
right. Like
he came and told us that one time, and when we were in Houston, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys got a good defense and stuff." He's like, "But you're not great." Oh man,
no.
He's like, "You guys are great because if you guys are great, you guys wouldn't be instead of being 7-9, you guys would be 10-6."
Yeah, there's there's
a big difference between winning 3 more games and not losing.
Well, they would talk about it. I mean, Joe Gibbs would say, "There's a way." Like he would say it constantly. Whatever friction you face, there's a way to get through it. We know that. We know that there's a way that bad teams and less talented teams still win. There's a way. There's a way for you to get in the starting lineup. There's a way for you to get the big contract. There's a way for you to win games. You're either doing it or you're not, and you make excuses.
And you got to do it for a long term. But I think Nebraska will be fine. As long as they get over there, healthy and they're all saying healthy and happy. Go over there, and happy means with your mindset of happy, not to be there, but happy that you're going to play football and do and complete the job, which is to win an odd game. But maybe I always try to look at it. Yeah, it's an odd game across in Ireland. First game of the season generally is extremely hot. It's going to be mild.
60s or 70s.
60s or 70s. But it's not going to be. You're not playing at home where 80, 90,000 people. So I think
it'll be a home game though. I think it's fair to say they're going to be more Nebraska fans there than the Northwestern.
Right. Yeah, but it'll be weird when there's only 12,000 of them.
Yeah,
it won't be as loud as.
It's not like when they took over Northwestern and they had pretty much
50,000
people. So it's going to be. But I think a game like this kind of works to Nebraska's advantage because the distractions are going to be less, and you can kind of get them to lock in a little bit tighter because of the time change, right? So if I really think I need to kind of shut off social media and I don't need to say, hey, take a big old bucket and put all your phones in here, well, guess what helps me? The 6-hour time difference. And I need you to be asleep, right? And I'm only going over there with 85 guys, I think, or whatever.
Don't know. Apparently they can take as many as they want.
Okay, well,
can they dress as many as they want? Or
I would imagine that you don't dress everybody because the confusion of numbers and multiplicity.
But maybe everybody. I'm just saying,
right?
85 guys. Generally, the travel team. So you'd like him to be in there, and then I think the message needs to be like, look, dude, granted, we're gonna go over and probably see some stuff, right? It's a different. It's a once in a lifetime trip. Embrace it, and then ultimately we're here to win the game. There's 2 ways to look at it. Go over there and give them a once in a lifetime experience because that's what college football should be about, right? And then the other thing is like go over there and make it pure about business. So I think Nebraska has chose the latter, but I'm sure they'll get to see the countryside or whatever and experience enough of Ireland.
I think
Ireland becomes a lot better when you win.
All of it. Like none of it matters. But on the other side of it, I think we're missing the point as well. That Northwestern has a guy as well. Like they've got a dude. Coach Fitz isn't gonna. That's the
listen,
he's not going over there on some nonsense.
This is what people don't understand when you hang your hat on. I'll tell you this: that the schedule I think is easy. Right? It's set up timing wise. Who you're playing, opponent. First 8 games is pretty gettable. The last 4 is a gauntlet. That's fine, but it's a better schedule than you've been playing. But here's what people don't understand about the Big Ten is I think top to bottom, they're the best coaches in the nation, and Fitzgerald did it. I mean, to get to talk to him, one is because it was crazy. I watched him in high school when they were trying to recruit me, but his mentality is they're not going to back down. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure he was embarrassed. I know he gave up a lot of kudos, but from a linebacker standpoint, I know when he's saying they had a great game plan, they played well. He's puckered up tight internally about it, because for him to kind of say it, he's been living that for a while. To get embarrassed. I mean, not a lot of teams beat them like Nebraska did. Explosive play, physical play, to the point that where, some guys on the Northwestern looked like they were kind of trying to tap out a little bit. That was one of the games that felt like Nebraska was playing to the echo of the whistle, which is great.
But you don't think that he's going to take 9 months of that venom?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When he's driving in to Northwestern from his house, I'm sure he's thinking. I mean, but at the end, the first game's always the hardest, because they've gotten to prepare for you for so long. Now, what helps Nebraska is that we do have new staff, some new players, and new offensive scheme, so it's not as easy. But ultimately, he's going to try to get back to what made Northwestern always be a surprise in the Big Ten championship, which is the small things and change of the mentality.
I'll ask you: does Northwestern under Pat Fitzgerald have back-to-back bad years?
They haven't, which the whole Big Ten needs to be on alert. But I think that they don't have the roster to kind of do it. But I don't think they'll be as bad as they were last year.
I'm just gonna say, before we go to break, some breaking news: Nebraska track and field head coach Gary Pepin announces his retirement. He has led the program for 42 years. He announced his retirement on Thursday, bringing a close to one of the most successful coaching careers in collegiate track and field history. In his 42 years as the head coach of the Husker track and field program, Pepin's list of accomplishments includes 3 national championship teams, 73 conference team titles, 59 individual NCAA champions, 639 All-Americans, 597 individual conference champions, and 6 Casita Academic All-Americas. He is a Hall of Fame member, was named to the named Big 12 and Big 10 Coach of the Year a combined 28 times, and the Region Coach of the Year 11 times. His statement goes as follows, and we'll do this as we go to break. I want to express my gratitude to the athletic department administration for the support of the program over these years. Success it has achieved would not have been possible otherwise. I'm grateful for the hard work and the many hours put in by the Husker track and field officials, organization, and of course the hundreds of student athletes that are a part of the Husker family. We'll talk about it more over the course of old school, but we'll throw it to break. Gary Pepin, well done.
I mean, just
well done.
Legendary,
man. There. You better give that man his flowers. Mark will tell us what's up next on Old School. And
that song ain't coming on.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. We saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and another hot one out there. White winds also in the forecast. We'll see an afternoon high of around 95. Clear skies tonight, the low of around 67. And tomorrow, sunny skies, another hot one out there. Breezy conditions though tomorrow too. We'll see an afternoon high of around 99. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Old School on a Thursday. Thank the folks from Buffalo Wings and Rings. Wings for breakfast. So, Jay Foreman, you have those in front of you.
Your breakfast wings?
Wings for breakfast is what it was dropped off.
I said, yeah.
I appreciate it. Mark?
Wings and Rings is a good place, though.
Let's get a little head start on my what's up with that. Let me do this. For Jay, let me do this.
This morning
for Jay.
Hold on. Let's get this
a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone ring and you wanna chat. Well, sit on down and tell me what's up with that. Ooh, yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah, this is the short version. Because I always could tell right there when he said that.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
Did your favorite?
What's up?
Finish strong, Mark.
With that?
This is like the shower version.
Yeah, right.
When you're in the shower,
Right.
nobody's home.
Right. Get in. You're singing out loud. You slide. You look at the water.
You know nobody's home until
Just
that garage goes up.
Just don't fall. Just don't fall. Mark, what's up?
Look, I came in here today, and there was a plate of wings in front of you, DP, a plate of wings in front of you, Jay, and there was a plate of wings sitting right here. But Rico was also here this morning.
You saw the sneakiness.
He came in,
took the wings.
He's not working.
Oh.
But he took his wings.
Took the wings and
took
bounced.
his wings, took his baby, and hit the road.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, man.
You're not going to defend Rico here.
I'm defending Rico because he brought little KJ in there. And
the baby gives you a
baby.
pass?
I'm telling you, man. I'm a softie when it comes to little babies, man. I didn't want to give him back, but I had to come in here. I was about to put KJ on the YouTube, but I got to okay that with nothing. I'd supersede Rico. I'd try to get a hold of his wife first. I never would put baby on live Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and all that. But that's maybe it. Maybe they're back home sharing a wing or two. But Mark, I will give you my wings.
Oh, hang on. I think Jake's got me.
Yeah. See, that's why I knocked. I gave Jake credit.
Jake is giving out wings like Tua is going to be giving out interceptions when they come up to Orchard Park.
He's
giving out wings like Tua is going to give up interceptions to Orchard Park, baby.
You're like Oprah.
Got a wet nap.
Right. Hey,
you get an interception. Right? You get an interception. Yeah. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. Jake the Snake.
See, well done. See, Mark.
You complain enough.
He had
the
you
world
covered.
Takes care of you.
We've learned that. That's who we are. Yeah, actually, really good.
What was the deal with these? They're smoked wings.
Smoked wings.
Brand new.
Are these new?
Apparently, brand new. They're wings and rings.
Yeah.
I heard Sip say they took a year to develop the recipe.
Right.
24 hours to smoke them.
They do it right. I like wings and rings. First of all, the parking is phenomenal.
That's what Sip said.
Well, it is. I mean, that's part of where you decide to go. The parking is phenomenal. How easy you can get from your car to the place, and then the when you walk in, the way they have it, as far as like the TVs and it's spacious. Even when we went over there for NCAA's, when people get into it, it's loud, but it's not so loud that you can't have a conversation. So it's a great location too. So
we appreciate
wings
them coming
and
in.
rings.
Yeah, appreciate
Smoked.
them coming in and doing the thing, leaving it. Normally I'm not a breakfast eater. I have to work on that because
the scavengers didn't get it, because usually it's either Rico or Nick that comes in and gets everything that's left here.
Nick is sprinting here now, but just at the thought that there are wings here.
I heard Nick went hard at Wingstop yesterday, though.
Yeah,
he ate a whole bunch of wings.
Well, I heard he ate a whole bunch of Rashawn's wings.
Yeah,
I was told.
Yeah,
what I was told.
I was just a little disappointed in Nick that I was listening to his show, and it was him. And who else? Nathan. Yeah. And they were talking. I think they're on with Strick.
Okay.
Or I think they were in for Strick or with Strick, or maybe Strick called in, and they were talking about going out with Strick to Barry's and what him and Nate get. They kind of come in and tell the bartender, vodka water and all that stuff. I remember
they get their 2 seats, right?
Right,
they sit there side by
I
side.
remember when Nicholas was about to be 21. I would say, man, I want to take you out to celebrate. Now you didn't going on to have a couple of little nights and stuff. You forgot about Uncle Jay.
Nothing, huh?
Well, that means we'll just have to crank it up. I'm gonna crank it up to the 15th power.
It will be worse. It'll be worse the first time we get him out in space. Oh no, we're dragging. As I said, we're dragging him in deep water. We're dragging him in deep water. Right?
It's an all-night affair.
Man, I don't know if I want to be a part of that, but I want to witness that.
Nick and Nate are going to. Nick and Nate and Jake. Jake can't hear me, right? Is all three of them are going to be. In it.
I just want Nate.
Look at Jake. He's on the 5-second delay.
I just want Nate. I just want Nate to know that his hair will be messed up by the time at the end of the night, right? Like the perfect hair coif is not gonna.
And then we're gonna make him go get a Nebraska driver's license.
Yeah.
What do you do? What are you doing?
He finally has it now.
Okay.
He does finally have it because he learned he didn't have to pass the written test. He failed the written test. and then he found out he doesn't actually have to
But
take
that's
it.
not good news.
No, right. I said that's not a win.
That's not. It really isn't. That's terrible.
It means we've got a bad driver now with a
Right,
Nebraska
right,
license.
Right. So can we?
He would fit right in. With
Can we retrain him? Is that?
I'd love to. Can we put him through DMV?
Let's put it on. Let's do it on air. Let's do it on air. Let's pick.
All you got to do is, first of all, if he's going to drive in Nebraska, he'll just have to back into every parking spot. He has to back in.
Let's
go back in on that hill out there.
The text line will come at you for that one because we've done this before. The text line went hard. Hang on, it's safer. It's safer that way.
Text line or the text line, the Sartor Heyman text line. Please text in and inform me.
They will
at 402-464-5685. Why 87% of people in Nebraska have to back in, no matter how much space is between them and the next car.
Yeah.
Just explain to me why you're at the top of the parking garage and nobody's there within 2 levels, but you have backed in.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is it to get away or what is the deal? Because
we need one show where it's Nathan answering the questions on the written test.
Sure. We get our hands on one. They do practice.
You probably get it online.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Before we go, he's been talking a big game, Jay, about beating you in a bench press competition too.
He is out of his mind.
What?
Nathan is convinced he can beat you in a bench press.
He must have been working out or something.
No, but these basic dudes, stop it.
He's convinced.
Stop it.
He wants it to happen.
Stop it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was. Look, Nathan.
What time is he on?
Nathan,
he's on at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Johnny from the east side is going to have to call in.
Yeah, he. Come on, man.
Okay, Nathan.
Oh,
I've only. Well, you know what? You know what's going to be great? I'll see Nathan at 6 p.m. tonight.
Because
I did get the email. This is the second time that
Yeah.
I've actually. Well, I usually probably always get the email. This is the second time I've opened it.
Right.
I'm going to see him at 6 p.m. tonight. I'm going to make sure I'll be there early and have a nice little seat.
Yeah, he's been talking about it since Monday. That is just what is dude.
Okay, Nate.
He couldn't outbench the punter at Virginia Tech. What is he thinking? Oh man,
him and Sip is off their mind.
They are delusional. It's like, stop it. Okay. Anyway, we'll throw the break. There was a piece put out where writers of some renown tried to name the greatest player at various positions in the NFL. We're going to do this with Jay Foreman. We'll do this with Mark. The greatest players at each position. We're going to dive into that pool before we talk Huskers. Up next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and another hot one out there. White winds also in the forecast. We'll see an afternoon high of around 95. Clear skies tonight, the low of around 67. And tomorrow, sunny skies, another hot one out there. Breezy conditions, though, tomorrow, too. We'll see an afternoon high of around 99. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School. Brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Old School. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. Get at us. Starter Heyman video stream live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. You can see what's going on. Jay Foreman, who sponsors this hour?
Sandhills Global, located here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Internships, career opportunities. Find whatever you need or whatever, or however you want to start at Sandhills.jobs.
It is a big one in that there's some breaking news and big stories. Of course, Gary Pepin from Nebraska track retires after 42 seasons and 73 titles and every accolade that you can possibly imagine for a legendary coach. That story. Then there's also that there's football today. There's football tonight. The Raiders and Jaguars will take the field, and I don't care who plays. I'm just excited that football. This is the tipping point. This is the salute. This is the,
this is the kickoff, the start, and
twist the top of your beer off,
right.
And or get you a nice ale, and
it starts to move a lot faster now.
Yeah,
and as a player, once you the first preseason game goes, it's warp speed to the season. Preseason is a lot different now than when I was there or when I was playing. It's definitely not as intense or as physical, but ultimately what you have prepared for, hopefully, and preparing for is a successful season. So This is about the time when you're in training camp that, you want to see other people, you want to hit other people. I know they do inter squad practicing now because the preseason games are no longer, I think there's one less preseason game, but it's not necessarily, they don't play the starters as much. So, it's just something to, look forward to. Now there isn't any more weekends moving forward or any more weeks without football on TV. And then you get college football. So it's for the guys, everybody, majority of America that loves watching football. This is it. I'm going to watch tonight just for the simple fact of watch and see if there's some young players that, that I've maybe seen, last year or two in college, see how well they do. And then obviously just, enjoy the, Hall of Fame weekend.
Text line listeners, etc. There have been folks who said there was extra static this morning. As a part of what we do, we've given several different ways for you to listen, watch, engage. There are parts of the city on certain days based on the sun, based on things that we do not control.
Right.
None of it we control.
Atmospheric pressure.
Yeah, we don't control
ionic interference.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't control it. But what we've done for listeners and fans is giving you 9 different ways for you to listen. On your phone, it's simple. On your laptop, in your car. The app travels everywhere. We've asked, we've begged for you to download the app and put it on your phone so you have it, so that you can just simply, when you go out of reach or there is interference, you can just simply hit the app and it plays clear anywhere in the country at any time. At any time.
DP, what is the name of the app?
The app is 937 Ticket app. It's right there. It's beautiful. It's spectacular. Also, like on your phone, wherever you are, even in your car, most cars are that kind of friendly, where you could go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Streams perfectly. Twitter Live. Streams perfectly. No interference. No bother.
Apple CarPlay.
Apple CarPlay. Just say, Alexa, play me 937 Ticket.
I hope we just turned on someone's Alexa.
Yeah, right. Alexa, yeah, right. Siri, put me on the ticket. 937 Ticket. So we've done that. That was part of the movement forward, is that we've given enough ways for you to engage and enjoy wherever you are, whenever you want. There's that. So
there it is.
So if you haven't downloaded the app, if you haven't subscribed to the feeds and the streams, do so that you have access and it doesn't take you anything more than the click of a button. Pretty simple stuff. Jay Foreman, ESPN did its NFL GOAT at every position. Right? So they started with defense, and we'll start with defense and just go up and down this thing. And there's no easy way to put it. And it's just your opinion, and you feel the way you feel. But let's go to it. They put edge rushers as the thing. I think putting it at just going defensive ends, right? Gives you a little bit more leeway, because if you just go edge rusher, everybody falls behind Lynch Taylor, and then there's no conversation.
Right.
So let's say defensive ends. Who's the prototype, the one that, if you could only choose one, that you would choose?
That's hard, man.
I didn't think that was going to be hard for you. I thought you would immediately go to your guy.
Bruce?
Yeah, I thought you would go to, or would you put Bruce inside?
No, Bruce would be on the edge.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say Bruce or maybe Deacon Jones, but I'll just say Bruce.
He had to pretend like it was hard.
Well,
yeah. Then I had a about face who's going to be my 3 technique.
Reggie White.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. There you go, Reggie.
Then they went defensive tackle.
Well, Reggie, that is defensive tackle.
Right. I leaned. Is it Reggie or Aaron Donald or Deacon, who could also play inside because he liked playing in, or Joe Green, who played
I was
inside?
Gonna say me and Joe Green, so that would be my 2 defensive tackles. I would just have to play. I would play them in 2-eye or 3 techniques, and I know they did.
Text line, we are accepting your opinion.
The other outside guy, I would go do with Deacon Jones.
Yeah, well, I mean, because Deacon beat up offensive line,
but Deacon Bruce wouldn't be the sack record holder if they kept sacks when Deacon played.
What about the two guys that played with your dad?
Jim Marshall?
Yeah.
He didn't get a lot. His stats weren't very good.
Page, Eller?
I was gonna say both of those two. That's who would be my Alan Page is probably the best interior pass rusher, but when you're that's Mean Joe Green is just bigger. I'm thinking like playing, but yeah, those
well, you
two
could take the steel curtain and nobody would care.
Right.
Like nobody would complain.
Right.
You could take anybody from Doomsday.
Right. Yeah. You could
right. And put them in play. You could take guys from the Overhill gang. Matter of fact, you could take guys from, look, not for nothing, but I don't know anybody who got downhill better than Dexter Manley.
No, and then you're talking about an interior, a guy that just made the Hall of Fame is Richard Seymour, who was on tape. When you watch him, is right along Mean Joe Green.
He was unfair.
But he was the modern day Mean Joe Green, literally. Big guy, super athletic, can destroy a double team, phenomenal technique, and was just a tempo setter. Like if you made him mad, he's gonna kick everybody's butt. Then of course like an Aaron Donald is in there, Warren Sapp.
Yep.
There's so many to say.
Howie Long isn't talked about it.
No, I was just about to say Howie Long, John Randall, who has never been blocked one-on-one. That is truth. A guy that got hurt that was on his way to being like that is Keith Millard, that I was a ball boy. Chris Dolman, who's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Bryant Young obviously just is obviously a really great player. There's tons of them. So it's all a matter of opinion. There's only I truly believe there's 4 or 5 guys that I would pound the table for that is not even close of the greatest of all time at their said position. That's Tom Brady, Lawrence Taylor, Deion Sanders, Jerry Rice,
Jim Brown.
And but Jim Brown, you could argue he didn't finish. You could argue Barry Sanders. You could argue Emmett. I think
meaningful games. Jim Brown carried the lead.
Yeah,
right.
For
Emmett never had to carry the lead.
True.
Barry Sanders never had to carry the lead.
Right. Yeah. In that case, yeah, but.
And what Richard Pryor said, Jim Brown did it when he had no brothers blocking for him.
There's some dude. You could like Eric Dickerson, who was pretty much Eric Dickerson and nobody else back then, and rushing for it. So there's guys. It just depends on what your flavor is, and but I just think those 4 are unquestionable. It's not.
Who's and this is where most people had real difficulty was at the safety position.
It just kind of depends,
right? Because you got different types. You got the Palomalos, right?
You got Ronnie Lott. You got Ed Reed. You got
Sean
Kenny
Taylor.
Sean Taylor.
Go back to Kenny Houston. Kenny Houston,
Kenny Easley. Sean Taylor, not so much because his career was cut short. But
you're just gonna be mean. You're just being mean.
No, I'm not, because Sean Taylor was on his way, but I'm talking about Palomalo, Ed Reed, and all those. They played twice, almost 3 times as long. Paul Krause is still an interception leader,
right?
But even
Kenny Houston, like for me, I wasn't afraid of anybody, crossing a route unless I could envision them doing what Kenny Houston did to people catching passes.
Right, you're thinking Tatum. If you want, just to kind of depends on what kind of defense you want. Kenny Easley, who just made it, who was a guy that was the first big safety that could go from middle of the field to the sidelines. Numbers are numbers.
Is Mel Blount a corner or a safety?
Whatever he wants to be.
Yo, that is
whatever he wants.
That is so good.
There's a Mel Blount. What do you want to do, dude? What do you want? A guy that nobody ever talks about is like Joey Browner.
Yeah, Joey held it down in the black and blue division.
Look at his stats though.
They put Brian Dawkins ahead of him though.
Right, but that's because he's modern day. But if you go back and look at the stats, there's guys that have played, and depends on when the media kind of blew up versus when guys were just really great players and then get the kudos. Joey Browner's one of them. There's tons of
great call. This is a great poll by Corey and Lincoln. He says the two guys that he once talked about are Steve Atwater and Bob Sanders.
I was about to say Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
Bob Sanders, again, cut short by injury, but for his 2-year run, Bob Sanders was a human eraser.
Yeah.
He's essentially the main reason why the Colts won that Super Bowl. They went from the worst defense in the league. Bob Sanders got healthy. They figured we're going to funnel everything in the short passing game and the run game to Bob Sanders. And he cleaned up everything. And when you think about pass rushers, you got to think of guys that Simeon Rice, that was just a pass rusher extraordinaire, just looked like a prey mantis out there. Dwight Freeney, stupid. John Abraham, who was unstoppable. Julius Peppers. I mean, there's guys out there, but when you talk about Lawrence Taylor, it's a whole different where he greatest of all, he changed the game. He was unstoppable.
I mean, he took the geniuses of pro football to the woodshed.
Right. Just physically.
Literally, I mean, for him to take it, he told the story. It's so funny because he's now doing the media tour, and it's good to hear. And he says that first day of camp, Parcells is just yelling at him about everything. Right. Taylor, you're terrible. You're not doing this right. You're not
you got
doing
a
this
shape.
right.
I remember.
Yeah, all that stuff. And he says, listen, let me do it my way. And if I'm wrong, then you bust my chops.
Right.
And then he goes, I didn't talk to Bill Parcells for 10 years. Right.
Right. Well, there's even a funnier story. It was where they were playing at the St. Louis Cardinals back when the Cardinals were in St. Louis. And I think this is when they had Roy Green, Metcalf, maybe Lomax was the quarterback.
Neil Lomax was the quarterback. Before Jim Hart and then Neil Lomax.
And then they had a good offense. So it was the Giants, and it was a big game. And so Bill Belichick was the D coordinator. Parcells was obviously the head coach, but they'd obviously worked, hand in hand and putting in, whatever defensive scheme. So I guess they had went over this defense where Lawrence was supposed to drop all week. And then obviously probably in practice he dropped. Well, they called the defense, perfect coverage for whatever. Lawrence runs in there, gets a sack, comes over the sideline. Lawrence, you're supposed to drop, right? Goes in, calls it again later in the game. Sack, forced fumble, win the game. Well, I guess the two coaches, which is obviously at that time, it was the Bill and Bill thing, the two best coaches of all time. Oh, well, I guess we got a new defense.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but then he recognized quickly that, we can't call this with everybody because there's only one Lawrence Taylor. John Lynch is a Hall of Famer, but John Lynch, when it comes to pairing him against the elites in that space, there are a ton of guys. I mean, look, we haven't even mentioned Charles Woodson.
Right. But is he a safety or corner?
Right.
Charles Woodson, I think, would be my. Just imagine me having.
He would be my nickel. He'd be my nickel guy.
I'd have Dion,
Darryl.
I would have Dion. I would have Lester Hayes and Woodson.
See, but if I'm going to take a Raider, I take Michael Haynes.
I was about to say
Michael Haynes was a savage,
but
bro.
But I already got the kind of smooth operator in Dion. Lester Hayes is just going to beat you up.
In today's game, I want Dion and Darryl because Darryl's just out there being in space, clean up, and then having Woodson as your cleanup nickel. The safeties. If I've got Lott and Palomalu or Reed and Palomalu, any combination of Palomalu, Lott, Reed.
Yeah, and then but who my third one going to be? Dick Night Train Lane, because if you try to run those you try to run those little jailbreak screens or something, you're going to be put
stiff.
Hey, do you remember when he was up there when they interviewed him? He had his Jerry curl was so wet. He must have been a businessman, and he was like, he's like, you got to hit him right here, and you could barely understand what he was saying. He's like, I tape it up, and he's like, you got to get underneath the chin, and I knock him out. So yeah,
Mark, he talked like every movie pimp from the 70s. Like, no, brother. Let me tell you, if I want to put him to sleep, it's right here in the feet.
Yeah.
You know where the skin meet? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him right, and hey, don't get him under the chin. Get him right on the face mask so the helmet knocks him out.
He was serious about it. He was serious. They were serious about it, man. I mean, D tackles, you got to think like Merlin Olsen was an unstoppable force. Bob Lilly, Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones, Rosie Greer. I mean, there's tons. I mean, Jerome Brown.
Here's two that in the era, in that day, these dudes were a problem, but they don't get the long talk about. Joe Klecko and Mark Gastineau with the Jets.
Yeah,
just tore the league. Like Gastineau, if he look, what did he do where we
don't like him,
disrespect him so much? Because he was the sack guy. He was the
and the
sack
thing
guy.
and the thing they were saying that he would dance, and he wouldn't dance. He just looked crazy.
He would just do the whirlwind, spin around.
Joe Klecko as a nose guard had like 18 sacks or something.
Klecko was 5'11", 290 pounds.
Remember when Joe Klecko was in Cannonball Run?
Oh,
wearing the overalls.
Yeah, he comes out. Him and Joe Theismann are truck drivers, and they come out like that's how good a defensive tackle became a movie dude.
Yeah.
Because he was that good, and we don't talk about him as a player. So we'll throw the break. When we come back, we'll get into the offensive side. We also will start with Jay's position. Who are the GOATs at linebacker beyond LT, in the middle, guys inside the traffic cops of football? We'll get that when we come back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling fees. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and another hot one out there. White winds also in the forecast. We'll see an afternoon high of around 95. Clear skies tonight, the low of around 67. And tomorrow, sunny skies, another hot one out there. Breezy conditions, though, tomorrow, too. We'll see an afternoon high of around 99. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Tuesday, August 9th from 3 to 7 at the RBC Event Space, 5721 Johanna Road. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
On the Block with Strick and Bach.
He obviously played against MJ when he was with the Bulls. Could you tell when you guarded Wizards, MJ, that was different than Bulls?
I mean, he still was crafty. He still was very cerebral, still had great hands. So his post-up game and his mid, all that stuff was still efficient. His actual pump fake game was even more effective. He just didn't have that same first burst.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Old School 97 The Ticket. Jay Foreman, Mark Onweiler in for Rico. Jay was giving us his all times, and there's several different things. So I'm going to say it on air tomorrow. I'm going to have Jay give us his Husker defense, his Husker all-time pass defense. So
Husker?
if Nebraska Husker.
Is that like corners or linebackers?
Yep.
Or
So
what?
different situations. So we've got pass rush where it's 3rd and long. We've got 1st and 10, and you're going to tell us the best run defenders, the best pass defenders, the best pressure guys, all of those things. We'll do that tomorrow. Dang,
I got some homework.
But today, and then this
Brother's gonna be texting me. I know T. Farley want to be on.
Like they want to be. Well, that's just it, right?
I already know I'm in there. I don't give a dang who it is.
And then in a separate deal, the greatest special teams players in Husker history. Like the guys.
That's going to be hard because I don't really,
they're guys. They're guys.
Yeah,
playmakers.
That's going to be hard to do just because
playmakers.
Yeah.
You don't want it easy. You don't want.
Well, I
it
don't know
easy.
who all was good. Like prior. I mean,
want it. Well, the text line will help.
Johnny Rogers is.
The text line will help.
It's got to be everybody besides Johnny Rogers.
Right. Like so.
He has the award.
Well,
after him.
You can get kickers. You can get punters. You can get
kickers.
You can get wedge blusters.
That's not right because I'm really good. I'm friends with Chris Brown. I know Alex Henry.
Well, that
Alex Henry might be the fan favorite.
We don't want it to be easy.
I already can tell you, I'm picking Chris Brown.
We don't want it to be easy, Jay Foreman. You need friction in your life. We know this
just because I trust him.
We know this, and then we're also tomorrow. We're gonna do the greatest nicknames in sports as far as defensive units. Because you hit. We were talking about Klecko and Gastineau, and we brought up Marty Lyons, who was kind of the forgotten force in that thing. And then you called out the name, and it gave me goosebumps because it was such a cool nickname that is underutilized. And if I'm the Jets, I figure a way to bring it back. But
they've been drafting to try to get it back.
But the New York Sack Exchange with Gastineau and Klecko is one of the great names. But then you can go through, and there is a list. Somehow,
Jason Peter is the one that I was talking to him about. Klecko and Gastineau, just talking about guys, and he's like, New York. I mean, because he grew up probably watching it. He's like, those dudes were unstoppable.
So let's do a roll call real quick, right? So the Over the Hill Gang.
Who is that? The Dolphins?
Washington with McDowell with the two Huskers on them.
Oh, okay.
With McDowell and Fisher, the Over the Hill Gang.
Yeah.
Capital Punishment, which was the Super Bowl versions of it. The Purple People Eaters,
right? Doomsday.
What were the Bears? What would you call? What were the Bears?
Monsters of the Midway.
Monsters of the Midway, and then they took something else for the 46 gang. They did something else,
and then you had the Steel Curtain.
What
was the Miami Dolphins? The Killer Bees.
The Killer Bees and the No Names.
Yeah,
the No Name defense.
But see, there's there's great defenses. Like the Raiders never had one.
Did they never? They never had a name. They never had a nickname.
No. I mean, the Legion of Boom is like the recent
Legion of Boom with Seattle.
I mean, just think of all the 49ers, great defenses. There's a lot of.
You just called them great defense.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams that had great defenses.
Orange Crush, Nate.
I mean,
Orange Crush defense.
Like the Browns when they had all those like Hanford
dog
Dixon
pound.
and I was about to say they're dog pound. Okay, what do you call the Ravens when they stat wise had the best defense ever with Ray Lewis? They didn't have it.
You just called it the best ever.
They just called them the gangsters.
Really, literally
with Burnett and all them. They were just got there, just
literally called them Orange Crush was fantastic. I love them, and then they broke my heart because I needed for them to beat the Cowboys all in. Like I remember we had a party ball, and the only thing we had disappointment.
I mean, so you got to think even back when the Rams had young blood and all them, they didn't have
with Rosie.
Yeah, but I'm with Jack Youngblood when they lost to the Steelers, they had a really good defense. I mean, so there's tons of the defenses and teams. Well, I felt good or great.
I feel like way up though.
What was the Eagles with what do you call the Eagles with Reggie White?
Well, he was the minister of defense.
Yeah, but what do you call that? Was it body bag crew? I mean,
yeah, because well, because there was the body bag game against Washington in the playoffs.
I mean, so just think of defenses like that you don't even get to. I mean, even like the Chiefs defense when they had Derek Thomas, they weren't great, but they were really, really good because once he was at home and you were playing there, I mean, he was going to get you for 4 or 5 sacks, and then you had him and Neil Smith. What do you call that defense?
Eric said I think I'm going to have an Orange Crush for lunch today. Eric drops him off at the station. No, literally that party, that Super Bowl party started great, ended poorly. Oh man, now I need to go in there. Okay. So where we were, we got through the defensive side of it. And now we need to get through the offensive side of it, right? And you said a thing that was simple. You said that Joe Montana was the GOAT.
Then Brady took it over.
I wanted to highlight that you said Montana was the GOAT, then Brady.
No.
Okay. Walk me through it.
Joe Montana was the GOAT, and then now Brady's the GOAT.
Oh, and then okay. So let's start with that then, because that's a really good thing. Sammy Ball would be the first GOAT at quarterback.
And then probably Unitas.
Well, then there's who's the guy with the Bears who won every title? Autogram.
Yeah, I mean that's the dude.
Autogram. Then Unitas.
Yeah.
Because Unitas, and I have to tell the young folks, the old heads will know this, but the young folks, every quarterback on a playground from 1959
to 70
to 72 until Joe Namath.
Yep. Imitated
Johnny Unitas.
Yeah.
That was how strong his GOAT game was. Now, when you go back, you really want to blow your mind. Go back and look at Unitas' numbers. They weren't great.
All right.
They weren't great numbers. Look at Namath's numbers. They weren't great because the game was different.
Yeah.
The game was
Everything
different.
was different back then.
Right? But Unitas drew up, not only called his own plays, but drew up his own plays in the huddle. Like he would kneel down. There's some dudes who, when they play quarterback in their backyard, they'd go old school. And the old school quarterbacks would always take a knee in the huddle. Why? Because they were drawing in the grass. They were drawing the plays up. They're like, you're here.
I'm picturing the kid at the spelling bee, like writing on the back of his little card. Is it basically that?
Yeah. And
they called their own plays though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would kneel in the grass, and the whole thing was okay. And then you would take one hand and cover what you were doing so that other people couldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, okay, so you're here and you're here, you're here, you're here. You do that.
Yeah.
Namath for 2 years was the guy.
Yeah.
I'm amazed and resoundingly confused of why Bradshaw was never the guy.
He just never played like that. I mean, if you want to win a Super Bowl,
you won 4 out of 6 Super Bowls. Like
you want Terry Bradshaw, but just playing the position. I mean, you got to think Terry Bradshaw. What he would tell you, he didn't win the starting spot, so it's a little different. And you had 2 Hall of Fame receivers, so it's just different. I do say he doesn't get the respect that he deserves as a quarterback, and maybe that's because of Chuck Noll always kind of never giving him his credit, and maybe it's because of the way that
that is a Chuck Noll thing,
right? And
then
then also you got to think they had Franco Harris and they were heavy run, so it's no different. Like Troy Aikman's in the Hall of Fame and his numbers aren't very good.
See, I'm going to upset some people. I didn't think Aikman was that dude.
There's a lot of people that think that way.
Well,
but he's in the Hall of Fame, but his numbers aren't very well. But he has 3 Super Bowls.
The question, Tater asked this question, but I'm going to rephrase it. He asked if you ever sacked Tom Brady, but I'm going to ask who's the best quarterback you ever sacked.
Tom Brady.
You got it.
I got Tom Brady and I got Peyton Manning. Didn't get a lot of
high five. Yeah,
didn't get a lot of sacks, but I got him though. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Put that on a shirt, man.
Yeah.
Look. I would walk in. I'm not sure. I would put on the front of the shirt Jay Foreman, Husker Football Hall of Fame, and on the back, oh, by the way, I sacked Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. But Tom Brady Tom Brady got me back. Tom Brady got me back though. We were playing up there and I'd hit him a few times hard. And when we were at Buffalo, when we played him at Buffalo, I kind of probably accidentally put my hand around his neck and slammed his head on the ground, went there or whatever. So
accidentally.
We're up in Foxborough, and it's my 4th year. And for whatever reason, when Kevin Falk went out of the backfield, instead of having a safety go cover him, they're like, "Yeah, let's go have our linebacker go cover Kevin Falk." Right?
Right. Yeah. Thanks.
So the first time they did it, it wasn't a good pass, but then I acted like I broke it up or whatever. Then it's in the red zone. So now it's like, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to sit on everything. If they try to throw like a jump ball, I feel comfortable going up against a jump ball against Kevin Falk because he's like, 5'9" or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I swear I had tight coverage on this dude, and they ran like a back shoulder stop, like fade. And I literally, Tom Brady fitted in there in between like fingernails. And he stared at me.
Yeah, he gave you the look, right? Like,
he said, he's like, "Falky, you were wide open, good catch," and just looked at me, right? And I was like, "F you, man," but
good stuff. Hey, let's pause there. We need to get 4 segments in the hour, so we'll do that. But we missed a couple of names. We missed a couple of defensive nicknames, and then we'll get deeper into this thing. We'll finish this up as well. We already know what we're going to do for Beatrice Bakery today. We'll do that in one-on-one because there's a thing we need to take care of there as well. So more GOAT talk when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Tuesday, August 9th from 3 to 7 at the RBC Event Space, 5721 Johanna Road. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and another hot one out there. Light winds also in the forecast. We'll see an afternoon high of around 95. Clear skies tonight, the low of around 67. And tomorrow, sunny skies, another hot one out there. Breezy conditions though tomorrow too. We'll see an afternoon high of around 99. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to old school with DP and J.
Welcome back. Quick segment here for you on Old School. Jay Foreman, the question for you, kind sir, is this. In the running back position, what's the room? Who's leading the room?
I'll probably have Jim Brown, my dad, Dickerson, probably Emmett, maybe. I don't know.
We're disrespectful to Eric Dickerson. Like, we're disrespectful because he never played in a meaningful game, but the same can be said for Barry Sanders.
Right.
The guys who did it again, Brown carried the league for a stretch. Sweetness did it in a way that everybody appreciated because he was just hard-nosed and rugged and all those things. Me personally, I put John Riggins in that room because John Riggins,
especially in a big game,
right? Big game Riggo was legit.
I mean, Marcus Allen's there.
Marcus is there. Emmett is there.
Yeah, there's tons of
Emmett's in the room. I have to learn how to discern between Emmett as a Cowboy hater versus Emmett as his place in the game and being productive. There wasn't anybody better.
Right.
And that they dominated the league.
And in big games, he showed up.
And he showed up hurt. He showed up
he showed up and played well in big games.
So Emmett's top 5. I have a hard time putting him top 3.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you, Dad's your hero.
Right.
But from that era, with guys like Franco, I'm old enough to remember Tony Dorsett.
Right.
And how he just Look, I was respectful of Emmett. I was afraid of Dorsett. Dorsett would kill you.
Yeah.
He would kill you. As we go through the league and we forget, and I don't want to be about friction, but listen, if you were a teenager in the 70s, there was one running back. There was one. After Jim Brown, there was one dude that everybody wanted to be like, and everybody copied. O.J. Simpson, like we've lost the legacy of one of the greatest athletes ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And O.J. was killing people on the field for real.
Yeah.
Like in the snow and mud, he put up 273 against the Jets. When they knew what was coming, they were like, well, here comes OJ, and there was nothing they could do about it.
What was it, like the Buffalo Electric Company or something?
It said, we call ourselves the electric company because we supply the juice.
Yeah.
So as you go around that, and again, your dad was a guy, even from DC fans, because for whatever reason, for like 5 consecutive years, Washington would play the Vikings in the playoffs and get pummeled. Like they'd have to go up to Minneapolis,
to
the old Met, and just
get worked.
Yeah, just get the
Everybody
business.
got worked up then.
Like just get the business. But then you go to other folks, and again, I was a Mercury Morris fan more than a Larry Zonka fan. I was when it came to the Raiders had a bunch of dudes who were good. They weren't great.
Right.
Bunch of dudes. The Chargers, when they started, it took them a while in the AFC to get legitimate runners.
Right.
Because they threw the ball so much. Like they really just threw the ball around. But there's some runners in that space. Go through it again. Jim Brown, your dad, Dickerson. Who are the other two that you would close the door?
Probably Walter Payton.
Okay.
For sure.
Emmett or OJ?
It's hard, man.
Right? Like that's that.
I'm trying to match up, see running styles or whatever. I mean, Orenthal James was a bad boy, man. Orenthal James, yeah. I mean,
Jay
I don't necessarily know if I want him in my running back room.
Got a question for you. Yeah, you don't want him in your house.
Yeah.
Question for this: who was the most painful running back to play against for you?
Well, I'll tell you this: the dude that I lost, if I had to say I lost sleep or worried about the most, was Fred Taylor. He's a guy that doesn't get near enough, like, kudos or whatever you want to say. Because here's where Fred Taylor was dangerous. Even back to college, he was 6'2", 220, 25, and he was always the fastest guy on the field. Physical, and if you made him mad or if he ran angry, then he's gonna you'd see him, then he's gonna bust the 80-yard off you and he's gonna embarrass you. So,
and it was the fact that it was Jacksonville and they relied on him,
right? But then he was the guy you always helped up. You never really talked junk to. But I'm gonna tell you the guy that was, and I know he's in the Hall of Fame is Edgerrin James, because he didn't have any weaknesses. He had the best balance I think I've ever played against, as far as a guy where he could absorb hits and kind of keep on balance, kept his shoulders square, kind of retreat a little bit, and had short area quickness, and it was slippery. Then he'd get, then he'd make a 2-yard loss into a 10-yard run, and he could go home run on you. He could pass block, physical.
And he was mean.
Excellent out of the backfield. So I would say those two, and I played against them the most.
Okay.
So those two are good. But
Okay.
I mean, you got to think guys like remember Corey Dillon?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was for real. I mean, a big back that would like Jamal Lewis and all those guys, Eddie George, all those guys.
All right. Well, toward the break, we'll come back. We'll let Jay finish on a short break with the greatest at his position, the linebacker position.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You look at those big tackles they have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will. That's the first time in history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson be the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order your Wingstop online at 28th and Superior, 50th and O Street, and 29th and Pine Lake.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment of Old School. Again, Jay Foreman's been on fire today. Mark, I want to thank you for running the board, keeping us on time and in space. We want to give this PSA so you guys can participate. So this coming Sunday, August 7th, at the Icebox, 2:00, there's an open forum for billet families, for folks who want to house members of the Lincoln Stars team. And any question that you have that you want to ask, any information that you seek, be at the Icebox Sunday, 2:00, for the billet forum, Lincoln Stars and the Lincoln Stars 18 and under AAA. To do that, Katie Duvall will be a resource, but of course, you can ask for anybody there, Coach Rocky Russo as well. They need you. It's good for you. There are benefits to it and perks to it. 2:00, August 7th, Sunday, Icebox. Jay Foreman, linebackers. You get to pick your 4. Line them up.
Well, Lawrence Taylor, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Inside linebackers, heck, I would go Ray Lewis, Dick Buckus. There's plenty of other ones, but
right.
Other outside guy.
Yeah. Who's that other? That's where the sugar gets
Depends
poured.
on what you like, man. I mean, there's a guy
Right.
that played for Pittsburgh that like Jack Ham, because he's the best, probably maybe coverage guy I think ever. Patrick Swilling.
Mm.
You could go Ricky Jackson.
Anybody from the
any
patrol.
of those. Yeah, anybody.
Anybody from the patrol. Anybody from the Steelers. Yeah, I don't have Cowboy Fear at linebacker. I don't know why.
I mean, you could go like DeMarcus Ware because he played, stand up.
Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas and LT.
That's
Von Miller would be.
I landed on that. That Derek Thomas thing.
Derek Thomas. Yeah, Derek Thomas. It'd be LT and Derek Thomas.
Yeah, come on, that's not even legal. You imagine a quarterback standing back there, Derek Thomas is on one side, Ray Lewis and Buck is standing in the middle, and LT over there just laughing.
Yeah.
Just laughing. That's the greatest defense ever. Jay Foreman, thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. One-on-one, brought to you by Amberson Electric and the folks from Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. He was killing the game with the wing game yesterday. Barry Thompson will join us, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we've been talking about and getting ready. It's football season. Let's rejoice.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associate.